Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. That's right, folks. If you're a fan of Anthony Edwards, you're looking at pure trash. This guy is pure trash. That's all he is, folks. And I'm back. You guys said I was going to walk away from the NBA. I just can't, folks. I got to trash this guy. I just... The All-Star game pissed me off, but I don't care, man. I'm back. This guy, you guys know I don't like Anthony Edwards. They played Houston last night, and I promise you on every damn thing, they done gave this man the keys to the car, the keys to the city, got rid of Karl Anthony Towns, and this guy has did nothing but shoot a brick fest, play limited defense, and shoot a bunch of threes all damn seasons. I mean, what do you want? And scream every time he goes up for a shot. Now, I didn't know where he got that from. I think he got that from Kobe, because I've been watching a lot of Kobe highlights, and when Kobe was going up, he go, ah! And he make those same noises like Anthony Edwards. The difference is Kobe was literally getting mugged. It was a different era. So he had the right to make those noises because he was actually getting hit. So yeah, they played the Rockets last night, and this guy chucked up 14 threes. 14 threes. And I turned on the game, and it was the Knicks and the Cavs. And I said, well, let me see what's going on. I'm home on a Friday. I'm not doing nothing. Worked hard all day. You know, of course, I didn't plan on, watching the game. That's why I turned it on at halftime, and the Cavs already scored 80 damn points. So we'll get to that in a minute, but they were like, showing the next game that was coming on next, and you had Anthony Edwards. What was he doing? He was warming up. It was like, oh, the Cavs the Timberwolves and the Rockets next. Anthony Edwards against, I think, Jalen Green or something like that. And they're showing Anthony Edwards, how is he warming up? Shooting three after three after three after three. So basically, we don't have any basketball players in the NBA. We have 3-point shooters. That's all we have. 3-point shooters. That's all we have in this era. It would be like the NFL saying, we don't want tight ends. We don't want running backs. We just want receivers. That's all we're going to do is throw the damn ball at wide receivers. So this guy chucked up 14 threes, only hit 4 of them. There goes that practice. Of course, he got to the line 10 times, 7 for 10, shot 32 damn times. How are you going to win if you're shooting 32 times? The next guy that shot the most shots was Naz Reid, 16. Naz Reid? See, Naz Reid, he wouldn't be a shooter back in the day. He might be a slasher at best. But to me, Naz Reid will be a post-up guy. And they're trying to turn Naz Reid into this shooter that he really isn't. So, 0 offensive rebounds, of course. 4 rebounds total. 3 assists. 0 steals. 1 block. 3 turnovers. Minus 11 for the game. And had 37 points. So that's all people are going to look at. Oh, man, that man put up 37, man. What you hating on, man? You hating on the black man for putting up 37 points, man. You think you can do any better, man? So check this out. In this game, he played 39 minutes. Shot 40% from the field. Huh? Oh. Yep. 28% from 3. 70% from the free throw line. And 3 turnovers. And 0 steals, like I said. I mean, just horrific. For the season. Now he's down from 44% from the field to 43. I mean, he's at 43.9, but he's at 43. And that's because he's been having these horrible games. His percentage had no choice but to go down, especially on this one. Now he's down to 41% from the 3. Remember, he was shooting all these months. 44%. That was the big thing that we excused him shooting. 44% from the field, period. but him shooting 43, 44% from the 3-point line, that his overall field goal percentage was kind of excused. Like, what? He is shooting 83% from the line, 1.2 steals, nobody plays defense, and he's averaging 27 points per game. So he doesn't want to get his points off of really being a slasher or shooting mid-range. He wants to get his points off of all these 3-point shots, basically three quarters, and from the free throw line. It's lazy. All these guys are playing lazy basketball. So that's it. So for a career, his career, he's averaging 23 points per game. For his career, he's averaging, well, his field goal percentage is 44%. I mean, let me check this out real quick. Is it see all? Let me see. I want to see some games real quick. These are like the last games that he played. Where's his field goal percentage? Field goal percentage. He played Houston 40%, OKC 27%, Milwaukee 30%, Cleveland 46%, Houston 44%, Chicago 46%, Sacramento 33%. Who is this? Utah 66%, Phoenix 55%. I'm trying to tell you, if he didn't have these games right here, his field goal percentage might be at like 40%, folks. And then we, get back to normal. Atlanta 30%, Denver 60.9%, but he only took 23 shots. What does that tell you? This guy don't need to be taking a lot of shots. And then we go to Dallas game, 31%, Memphis 42%, Cleveland 40%, against the Knicks 57%, against Golden State 36%, Washington 56%, Memphis 30%, Orlando 26%. Goodness God. And New Orleans 47%, Clippers 48%. Is it more? I guess so. They played a game against Boston. What they played? I think he shot 30-something% in that game. I mean, it's just a joke, folks. The guy is just, if he didn't get to that free throw line, so he's trying so hard to get up in that top 5, and he might get in that top 5. I'm not for sure, because if Luka keeps playing with LeBron James, he's going to drop out of that top 5. And we know if AD stays hurt, he might get in that top 5. But look what he's shooting. He's horrible. So let's go to this Knicks game. Like I said, I wasn't even planning on watching this. I turned on the TV just to see, what was going on. And it was halftime, and the Cavs already scored 80 damn points. Oh boy, they already scored 80. I'm like, and look, let me see something real quick. Knicks, and they had already pulled their guys out. Both teams pulled both squads out at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And nobody scored a lot of points. Like Mitchell, he had 27 points. That's it for the Cavs. He was the highest scorer. That's it. But everybody on the Cavs team was just raining threes. They shot 51% from 3 and 60%. Was that from 3? Yeah, 51% from 3 and 60% from the field. I mean, and when we look at the Knicks, the highest scorers on the Knicks was Brunson, 26, and Karl Anthony Towns with 21. They outscored the Cavs, everybody on the Cavs. The highest score Donovan Mitchell did have 27. The second was Mobley, 21. And then Hunter had 16. No, my fault. Who is this? I think his name's Ty Jerome, 19 points. But what I'm trying to say is everybody on the damn Cavs team, it looks like they scored. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys just in double digits. 6, I think it's 7 on the entire team, but damn near everybody on the entire team scored 5 or more. I mean, the game was basically over at halftime. And the coaches, these aren't real coaches, folks. You can't get me to believe this. Let me ask you a question. These are your real coaches, right? Because I hear a lot of YouTubers, they're out here defending these coaches. Should they get fired? Why did they get fired? They should not have got. These aren't even real coaches. So you're trying to tell me in practice, because I remember being on teams, you run drills, you run plays, all this stuff. So you're trying to tell me that the NBA has a 3-point shooting problem. So the coaches are allowing these guys in practice to shoot threes. The schemes that they're coming up with and the plays that they're coming up with are continuing to be 3-point shots. These are real head coaches. I would like to go to some of these practices. This would be great. Because I remember going to practice and you ain't about to tell no coach what to do. I don't remember no coach drawing up a whole bunch of 3-point plays. All I remember is what? High percentage shot. The guys in the paint get doubled, kick it out to the open shooter. It could be from mid-range, it could be from 3. A guy slashes to the basket from drawing up a play, and that guy slashes to the basket. If the defense collapse, kick it out to the open shooter. Dude, I don't really. This is what NBA practices consist of? Just dudes shooting from 3, dudes playing one-on-one, and then only passing it when he can't shoot it, or when he's overwhelmed by the defender. So there's no real X's and O's in this game. I mean, really. So these guys are. I gotta laugh every time I say this because I don't believe these guys make this money. But you're trying to tell me these guys that are supposed to be making these record-breaking contracts that nobody wants to see, and the game is at its lowest point, these guys are making this money just for bombing away at 3. God, this is like past AAU. This is, even AAU has some type of fundamentals in it. This ain't even AAU. And I was saying this yesterday. I'm like, oh wait. They told these players to go to the All-Star game. We're going to change the format so you guys play a certain way and play harder in the All-Star game. This is why we're going to change the format. But all season, leading up to the All-Star game, play the same style of basketball that you've been playing for the last 6-7 years, which is shoot 100 threes in the game. Don't play no defense and load manage. So when we get to the All-Star game, we want you to play a competitive 2000s, 90s, 80s style of basketball. What? How dumb does that sound? So you're not going to change the game before they get to the All-Star game? Because it's apparent that the league changed this entire format. Because these guys aren't doing just what they want to do, folks. They're doing what the league has told them to do. Listen, it's a job. I mean, these guys don't run the NBA. If you didn't play the style the coach wanted you to play back in the day, you was getting the hell off the team. So the commissioner should be able, and he has, to control these teams in this league from the organizations to the players of the style of basketball they want to play. So if the commissioners and the owners and the coaches said, we want to play inside out basketball again, defense, and you got to come to work, that's what you got to do, or you can't be in our league. But this isn't what the NBA want, folks. They want people to be in the NBA that's not supposed to be in the NBA. That's why the NBA is like it is. These players aren't just doing what they want to do. They're getting blamed for doing this, but they're only doing it because this is what the owners and the commissioner in the league wants. They don't want to. Truthfully, let's get down to it. You can think what you want to say, and I don't say what everybody else says. That's their decision to take what is given to them. These are your choices when you eat out of somebody else's hand. They're going to give you the good side or the bad side to go with. That's all they're going to give you. Now you have a choice to form your own opinion and look at the overall picture for what it is. Because if it keeps not making no sense and it keeps coming out to a turd, you got to use your own thinking. It's okay, folks. It's okay. Like I said, some people are scared, or some people don't want to be unmonetized, so they got to go with what's being fed to them. Either you got to go against LeBron James or you're with him. You can't blow up the whole thing and tell the real truth about the NBA. You can't. Because YouTube will come after you. And some dude asked me, oh man, I wish your channel was bigger, man. You coming out with all these facts. And I said, that was over a long time ago. That was over a long time ago. When I exposed ESPN a long time ago, that was over. That was over. Well, nobody exposed ESPN like I do. But that was over back then because my subs were on the rise back then. Like boom, bam, boom. As soon as I said something about ESPN, not criticize them. I exposed ESPN for who they are. Disney, Fox, the whole fake scandal of, what's his name? The beef between Stephen A. Smith and Max, and then the fake beef between Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. See, they gave you something to eat out of, right? They gave you their hand to eat out of. You can go with the good or you can go with the bad. And the good was you can go with ESPN and be like, yeah, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. You got to go with their story. Or you can go with the bad and you can blame somebody. But the overall picture was they didn't have enough money to pay these guys. I'll tell you the whole story again, right again. I can tell you from when I dropped that video, before that, my subs were on the rise. And then after I dropped that video, YouTube tried to like penalize me. But anyways, they didn't have enough money to pay, the Shannon Sharp. This is TV, folks. That's why I keep trying to tell you guys, this is TV. A lot of this stuff is scripted. They didn't have enough money to pay Skip and Shannon Sharp because they wasn't getting the ratings like that, folks. It just, the economy in general. So they had to start a fake beef between them two to try to make it look like that's why the show was ending. That's why Shannon Sharp was going over to ESPN. He was leaving ESPN, but in fact, he was leaving to go to ESPN because he was not replacing Max, but he was going to be one of the replacements. And Max was going to try to go over to that morning show, Keyshawn and Jay Wilt, and try to save it because Zubin, he was a horrible narrator. He was horrible. So they started a fake beef between Stephen A. Smith and what's his name? Stephen A. Smith and Max. Another fake beef. This is all TV. This is all entertainment. So they started this fake beef between them two. And that's how they got these guys separated, divided, what have you, and stuff like that. They, sometimes you got to use your brain. If Max was that bad, guess what? He would be out of ESPN. He went over there to try to save that show and try to be the moderator, whatever like that. And they still couldn't save it. Jay Wilt is horrible. Horrible. He don't need to be on a damn morning show. He can barely be on College Game Day or whatever it is on ESPN. He's horrible. Keyshawn is okay. But yeah, even Max couldn't save that show. But Zubin, he was horrible. So that's where that whole thing came with ESPN. Guys got to remember, this is entertainment. Also, they can make views off of this stuff. And you got to remember, social media in general pushes everything. That's why they don't fire everybody at these networks, because they don't need good people no more because they have social media. They can make so much money on social media without even having good people working there. They're making all this money. Just like, ESPN, they don't fire everybody. Look at their caller analyst yesterday. It was a WNBA woman from the Indiana Fever. A coach. The coach of the Indiana Fever. It done got this bad, folks. This was their prime time game on Friday. The Knicks and the Cavs. Imagine the Bulls and the Knicks, and you had this woman as a color analyst back in the 90s. It done got this bad, folks. And I'm not trying to knock her, but this is just cheap labor. Remember, these people are getting paid for not even turning a profit in the WNBA. So they got to find a way to get these people a job or get these people some work, because we're paying you and you're not even bringing in no money in your own damn league. So I'm not trying to say she's horrible, but she shouldn't be in the men's game. She shouldn't be on a cornerstone game on Friday. And anyways, let's get back into this, folks. It really don't matter. Because this is just what the NBA is. So that game was over at halftime. Even the fans in Cleveland, they were appalled. Because yes, they want to see their fans win, but everybody wants to see a good game. Who don't want to see a good game? You came on a Friday night, two of the good teams of the league, and one don't even show up. One don't even show up. What kind of issue is that? How does that work? One of the teams don't even show up. So the fans are just sitting there like, they can't even, make any noise. They can't even be happy because let's see if the Cavs score, keep scoring points and they're up by like 36 points. What are you really clapping about? They ain't even clapping no more. They're just like, this is ridiculous. And I was saying something yesterday in the post. I'm like, how are they supposed to be getting fans back to the game or keeping fans if one of the better teams don't even show up? If this was the Bulls and the Knicks back in the day, just a regular season Friday game, oh, this is big at Madison Square Garden or Chicago Stadium. Everybody's packing in to see these games. You might have some stars there, everything, some good play-by-play guys. Everything is real competitive. Guys going to be playing defense. Guys are going to be running X's and O's, fundamentals, some inside out. There's going to be a team leader. And that's the thing with a lot of these teams. You don't have a team leader. Yes, maybe, your marquee guy might take the most shots, but he's not really the team leader. Nobody really plays around that guy. He just might take a lot of shots, but nobody is really on the team is playing around that guy. Everybody's just chunking out the basketball. So what I'm trying to say is that Bulls and Knicks game, it would be great. And maybe whoever loses is going to lose by no more than 10 points. That's it. It would be an embarrassment for back in the day, for good teams to blow out other good teams on a nightly basis by 20 or more points, even 15, really. And this is what you got in this league. And then you got bad teams blowing out good teams on a nightly basis by 20 and 30 points and 15. Like, what? So I'm supposed to believe these games aren't being thrown? These guys aren't throwing these games? Come on, man. I don't believe it. There's just a pattern every single night. And I keep trying to say, when is it going to be to where I can believe these guys are justified to make this kind of money? To where you're going to make me believe these guys make this kind of money? Because they can't justify these guys making this kind of money. From nobody watching it, the way they play, the view, everything. You can't justify these guys making I won't even get into that, but this is what you got, man. This is why everybody keep walking away from the NBA. LeBron James probably ain't going to play tonight. And Luka's not going to play. It's going to be embarrassing, and they don't care. And I heard something yesterday with ESPN and Michael Wilbon. They was going back and forth about wanting to do an All-Star game, the U.S. versus the world, and it was basically like your top international stars that you got today. And I thought that's what it was. To get the same game that they played, the final game, that same game that they played with those guys, the international stars and American stars, they basically want that game to happen again. The problem with that is, now these guys are playing for the world, so they're going to be playing hard with the international players, and they're going to beat the ish out of them. And they keep trying to bring up these same damn names: Kevin Durant, the Currys, the LeBron James, and where are the new American stars? Everybody's sick of these guys. Where's the new American stars? We don't care about the Kevin Durants. We don't care about the LeBron James and the Curry. Not that we don't like them, but where's the new stars that's supposed to be going against these young international stars? It's supposed to be competing against the SGAs, the Lukas, the Jokers, and all this. Where's our new young stars? Another reason why nobody's watching this crap. Nobody wants to. This will be like us keep continuing to watch Isaiah Thomas. No knock on Magic, but Magic and Kareem and all these guys, and there's nobody else coming behind them. But you just have a whole bunch of international players that's actually better than them. That's better than Magic, better than Kareem, better than Isaiah, better than these older stars, better than Dr. J. But we, at the same time, we don't have a Jordan. We don't have a Barkley. We don't have a Karl Malone. We don't have the John Stocktons. We don't have the Dominique Wilkins. We don't have these young stars coming up, the Scottie Pippens or the Clyde Drexlers. You just have a whole bunch of international stars now in the 90s taking over some old stars. And they're playing an international game. You're no longer playing American basketball. You're basically playing international basketball. That's a problem too. You're not going to beat these guys at their game when you're playing their game. You're not going to beat them.